How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and her most recent controversy that has hit the news within the past couple of hours. This is breaking news for me right now as I'm recording this video. Now, we got to back up a little bit to explain who Ilhan Omar is and why this story is important at all. As you may know, she's part of the squad in Washington, D.C., which includes Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a.k.a. AOC, Ayanna Pressley, and also Rashida Tlaib. They've been really controversial, talking about, it's all about the Benjamins as it relates to Israel and the United States relationship. She's a proponent of BDS, an anti-Israel movement. She is pro-open borders, pro-illegal immigration, in my humble opinion, a radical Muslim. All kind of different things. She is a very controversial figure, not a good person to have in Congress. There's been quite a few things that have been circling around her, like her marriage status. She recently filed for separation or has separated from her husband. Now, the reason why I say filed or is separated is because it ain't the same thing. She might not be legally married to her husband that she has kids with. She may call him her husband, but that may be through the religious ceremony they had, which got them married to begin with. I'm not quite sure if they made that step from the religious ceremony to the official ceremony or not, although she did have the official marriage to somebody else that was rumored to possibly be her brother for immigration purposes. Okay, the guy who she has kids with, her quote unquote real husband, who she recently got separated from, they got like 2 or 3 kids together, but the other person, there's no mention of kids or anything like that. And she got legally married to him while she was still in the religious relationship with the guy she has kids with, her actual husband, who she got separated from recently. So maybe kind of confusing, but we'll get back to that in a moment. The most recent man in her life is a guy by the name of Beth Mynett. He is a political strategist, consultant, or whatever, who works on her campaign. And I'll get to that in a moment as well. If you notice who Ilhan Omar is allegedly cheating on her quote unquote husband with, he appears to be a white male. But I thought that Ilhan Omar said that white men need to be feared and monitored more than jihadists. Maybe I heard wrong, but whatever the case may be, I digress. In some divorce papers in Washington, D.C., his current wife, Dr. Beth Mynett, who is like 13 years older than him, but again, different story, she filed divorce papers and said that Ilhan Omar stole her husband from her. All right. Now, I had been following this story for quite a while before the divorce papers came out. It was a rumor that Ilhan Omar and this guy, Beth Mynett, were an item. They had been seen around town. There's been pictures of them together, and I'll place a picture of them on the screen before you. They had been sitting around town. Everybody in D.C. pretty much knows that this guy works on her campaign. That's no secret at all. The twist is having them being seen in public together in kind of a cozy situation. Like they're more than just business partners or having a business relationship with each other. It's a little bit more than that. And now, apparently through divorce papers, that's been confirmed. In the divorce papers, Dr. Beth Mynett says that her husband came to her one day and had some kind of deep like expression of love for Ilhan Omar. OK, so it's just really weird. He just kind of abruptly said, yo, I know I'm still married to you or whatever, but that's fine. But I'm going to go over here and I'm going to deal with her. Now, the reason why this is important is for a couple of reasons. First of all, it lets you know that Ilhan Omar is not really a fit person when it comes to your personal character. OK, you're still married to your husband. You're not divorced. All right. And you were legally married to somebody else where you married to your husband at the same time. You have a philanderer right here, somebody that I wouldn't trust with 1 red cent. You married to somebody and you violating that by getting legally married to somebody else. You're a bigamist. OK, and then you are in the workplace cheating on your husband with this guy who you pay money to. And I got to go ahead and get to that. I talked about that a little bit earlier, and I said I'll get to it in a moment. I'm going to get to that right now. The money situation. This, in my humble opinion, is the biggest story here. According to documents that I've seen, and I'll place information for that in the description box below, she had paid this guy about $230,000 in 2018 alone from her campaign funds. Okay, so the money that, if you're an Ilhan Omar fan, if you support her, the money you give to her, she's given to this guy who is allegedly her lover for stuff like fundraising, consulting, digital communications, internet advertising, and travel expenses. Now, why are you paying this guy $250,000 who you are also in a relationship with from campaign funds? I mean, that right there on his face seems like it's improper. I mean, come on, you married to somebody legally, you got kids, but you are cheating on him with this guy who you give $250,000 to in 1 year. What's really going on? Now, to go a little bit deeper into the money situation, I brought up the whole thing about her being legally married to the one guy who may or may not be her brother. We don't really know who he is, but it's probably her brother. And in the actual religious ceremony with her husband, who she has the kids with, she was married to that guy legally at the same time she was with her husband. Now, Ilhan Omar and the non-legally married husband filed a joint tax return 1 year. That is illegal, obviously. You can't do that. If you're not legally married, you cannot file a joint tax return. Now, a lawyer was paid to fix that problem, and the money to pay the lawyer also came from campaign funds. So let me get this straight, Ilhan Omar. You are legally married to somebody else. You file a joint tax return with your quote unquote real husband, which is illegal. You can't do that. And you take campaign funds to do it. You are with your husband in official, unofficial relationship. You cheat on him with your campaign consultant or whatever. Give him $250,000 from campaign funds. Are you paying him to be your boyfriend? Like, what is really going on? This is just strange. It's crazy. It's weird. If I didn't read it for myself in black and white, I wouldn't believe it. And I'm getting this from the New York Post, a great publication, by the way. And again, I'll link to everything in the description box below. There's a movement right now by Alabama Republicans to get Ilhan Omar out of Congress, to expel her from Congress. I think it's high time that happened. I mean, the anti-Semitic comments, the anti-conservative comments, the outright open corruption. If nothing else, even if you think that her comments about Israel and the wall and stuff like that, people that are on the right, if you think those comments are not enough, the outright corruption should be the nail in the coffin. I mean, come on, outright. How you going to take campaign money to fix a problem with an illegal tax filing? All right. And then you're married to a guy or in a relationship with a guy, and you pay somebody else who you are cheating on him with $250,000 for random things from campaign funds. I mean, what's going on here? The squad, these people are incompetent. They shouldn't be in Congress. I mean, I think the popularity of them, as I close, is because of social media. All right. They're able to get plenty of retweets, plenty of likes, a lot of attention. They look halfway decent, I suppose. I wouldn't say that Rashida Tlaib and all them are beauty queens, but they probably look a little bit different than the average person in Congress when you're talking about women. All right. So and Ilhan Omar might look better than Elizabeth Warren, but you're not really going to jump for joy when you see her. And if she looked that good, why are you paying this guy $250,000 to be with you? That's kind of what it seems like, but maybe I'm wrong. To get back on track a little bit, as I wrap it on up, these individuals are corrupt and they're incompetent. They shouldn't be there. Hopefully they're able to be primary and they are able to be eliminated from Congress. But then again, you know what? I take that back. I take that back. Hopefully they stay. Hopefully they stay, because you know what? This is going to be the face of the Democratic Party. They get all the attention, all the support, all the recognition, all the accolades. That's going to be the template going forward for the Democratic Party. I pray for those that have to be in their districts. People like AOC taking away Amazon jobs and a lot of money. I don't wish that on them, but at the same time, if they're there for a while, that'll collapse the Democratic Party, in my humble opinion. And then we're able to get better people in these positions all over the country. And this corrupt mass you call the Democratic Party shall cease to exist. And that is pretty much all I got. What say you? Do you think that Ilhan Omar is corrupt from what I've said today about the marriages and the shady money deals? How about this guy, Beth Mynett? What's going on with him? You're 38 years old, married to a lady that's 55 years old. You got a 13-year-old together. So you were 25 and she was 42. I'm not judging, but that right there is a red flag. And then he comes to her talking about, oh, I love Ilhan Omar. Like, what are you thinking about? Like, Is it money? Your wife is a doctor, sir, and you are like a campaign strategist. I'm sure you have enough money. Was the $250,000 worth it to leave your wife? And what was the purpose? I don't even really know. Maybe love is blind and they don't care about marriage or law or rules. I don't really know, but whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.